society wants you to do, but you have to know how to kind of like, how do I say this? Massage it in every so often. You can't just stay in that pocket and just be like, oh, well, I'm going to keep continuously showing up like that, especially in the dating world. Because if you're too soft, women then are going to say what? Oh, he's weak. He's too emotional. I don't want to deal with him. He's not the man's man. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's all over the map because like I grew up, in the 60s and 70s. Well, get in touch with your feminine side. Be, more vulnerable and this kind of thing. Now, you've got the messages, maybe at the red pill extreme of things. Never be vulnerable. Never, reveal yourself. Don't do that because now they have the upper hand and now, you're going to be friend zoned. But I don't think men get put in the friend zone because of vulnerability. I think they get put in the friend zone because of a lack of action. That they hide their sexual desires and intention from a woman and try to get her approval and become, let her befriend him. And once a woman, I said, women don't put men in the friend zone. Men put themselves there because they hide the reason that we're talking to them. Men talk to women because they have and we want to see them naked. I know that may sound kind of crass. The thing is, she already knows that. Women know why we talk to them. Now, maybe they fool themselves and think, oh, we're just talking to them because we find them really interesting and highly intellectual, and we think that, they'd make a really good friend. No, the men talk to women because they maybe want a girlfriend or they want a sex partner. That's why men talk to women. Now, everybody's pretending that's not the truth. But it is the truth, and that's why so many men end up in the friend zone, is they think they have to hide their intention from the woman they're talking to. Now, it doesn't mean we have to be crass or abusive or invasive. In fact, for example, I'm not a big fan of pickup. I think a lot of pickup is inherently invasive to women, and I don't teach it and I don't practice it. Now, I am a very social animal. And I am, a big fan of, starting up conversations with strangers in public. But that's not the same as targeting a woman, because I think she's hot, and I think I'd feel good. My ego would like it if she was my girlfriend, or if she got naked with me. Now, again, there's a lot of other pieces we could pull out there. But yeah, so we got all this, be vulnerable, don't be vulnerable.
yo, guys, what's going on? I appreciate you. Thank you. Turn on all bell notifications, subscribe, like, and comment to the podcast. It's the best way to stay up to date. And hey, it helps us gain the clarity and boost ourselves into that algorithm. We appreciate the support each and every day, each and every week. Let's keep on going to keep on growing. Peace.
I'd say, don't make a woman your therapist. Have your own coach, have your own therapist. But that doesn't mean you can't be open and revealing, but hopefully you've already worked through the stuff you're being open and revealing about. And it's not like this is the first time you're processing some uncomfortable emotions in front of this woman whom that you want to get naked with. Probably you should have already processed that with your therapist or your coach or your buddies.
I love that you say that. So here's my question to you, because the way I know the way to do it, right? I know you got to be real with your intentions, but I think some women know this now, and they've picked up the game of what's being presented on TikTok and social media in these other startup podcasts or the red pill community, or I don't know what the women have in the community for the dating, but they hear these ideologies. Sure. So now they're putting the pressure on men to be like, well, if we're talking, why are we talking? And it's like the guy kind of is like, well, how do I navigate this without coming across too like crude with it? Like, I can't say I want to sleep with you, but what's the easiest way from your point of view? You're the expert in this. Like, how do you answer that question? I think that's the number one thing that men want to know without coming across too abrasive.
Well, there's a couple different ways we can talk about this. I just stumbled onto a YouTube video the other day that I think had four views. and it was kind of just a graphic image, but a woman's voice talking with a script on it. And the woman saying, I want to explore my sexuality. I would like to have experiences because I've got a lot of sexual baggage, and I know I need to have different sexual experiences to kind of, explore and clean out my sexual baggage. And I thought, okay. And she says, but it seems like all the men I meet can't get past the manipulation. Why can't they just be honest in themselves and transparent, and then we just go explore this thing together rather than like doing these tricks and games and manipulating the situation like the and that's what I mean. In many ways I have empathy for women. Now I know women do crappy stuff to men as well. I get it. I'm a guy. I've had crappy stuff done to me. But I do have empathy for women. I was watching that video that like all of four people had seen, and I go, I get it. Here's a woman that's saying, actually, I'm okay with you wanting to see my boobs. I'm okay with us exploring the possibility. I'm not saying I'm going to have every guy that approaches me, but I do want to explore my sexuality, and I can't do that unless I have, right? That's basically what she was saying. But I could understand what she was saying too, that men now learn about women, how to get a woman, how to connect with whatever, through YouTube videos, through pickup, through red pill, and it is all about manipulation. It's about playing a game, and none of it's about just being you and having your intention to be seen. And that's why I said, for example, I'm not a big fan of just cold approach pickup. You know, you're walking up to a woman that you don't even know. You know, she could be but because she's hot, you think, oh, she'd make a great girlfriend or she'd be good in bed. And I always tell guys, a big mistake men make is we confuse a dopamine hit to the brain, i.e. she looks good. It feels good to look at her. We confuse that with she might make good girlfriend material and she'll be good in bed. Often those three things have nothing to do with each other. You can get a dopamine hit to the brain from somebody who's a shitty girlfriend and is terrible in bed. But we men are kind of, so now we think we got to manipulate her because we had that dopamine hit to the brain. How do I manipulate her into either wanting to be my girlfriend or, most importantly, get in bed with me, right? So it becomes this manipulation, and to where all the tricks that are being taught out there on the internet for how to do it. Well, either spin plates or run game or use hypnosis or NLP or peacock or run these lines. You know, after a while, the women, when the guy says, I got a question for you, who lies more, men or women? And the woman goes, I've heard that 80 times this week. You know, after a while, the women are going, can't the men just approach us? Because we know why they're approaching us. Again, they know why we're talking to them. Can't the man just be sincere? Now, here's the thing, we don't have to walk up to them and say, I want to sleep with you. But the ways in which we interact with them do communicate a sexual interest, a sexual kind of interview of each other. And women are doing the same thing. They're just usually a little bit smarter about it than us guys, because mainly we guys kind of lack those basic skills because we've not been initiated.